more than a quarter of Americans admitted to doom spending, or spending in spite of financial or economic concerns.
What did I spend my money on to be so much in debt?
I'm bored. I think it's time to go spend money.
So today we're going to be going over doom spending in yet another form, now being called revenge spending. There seems to be many different reasons why people are revenge spending today that we're going to be going over, but honestly, in the end, it doesn't matter what you call it. This kind of reckless spending will destroy your finances. So maybe if you see similar patterns in your life with what we're about to see, you can recognize it and stop it before you lose a ton of money down the road. We also have comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with at least one of the definitions of what revenge spending actually is, because there are a lot of them we're going to go through.
Revenge spending and falling off the wagon are two problems I'm constantly having to solve as a recovering super spender who cares about finances but has also never met a dollar I didn't want to spend. Revenge spending is when you have to pay money for something that you didn't really expect to spend money on, you didn't want to spend money on, maybe it was more money than you expected to pay for that thing, and as a result you're feeling really down about it and you're like, it doesn't even matter that I tried so hard to save all that money because all it did was go towards this thing, and then you get it in your head that you know what, the reason I had to pay for that is because I saved the money. So as a result, it's like a self-punishment thing to be like, you know what, I already spent money on stuff that I didn't want to spend money on, I might as well spend money on stuff that I actually want. Falling off the wagon is a similar thing, except that happens when you are doing really well and you're like, wow, I'm within budget, I'm doing a great job, and then let's say you go over budget by $1 or $5, you know, you barely go over the line, but then you think, oh my, you know what, I put in all this effort and I already suck, so if I was gonna fail, I might as well fail as hard as I can. I've already gone over budget by $5, I might as well throw on a few more things.
So at the end there, it started to turn into a little bit more of doom spending, just kind of giving up, throwing in the towel. You went over budget, why not just go completely overboard? Sounds crazy to me. But the first half of the clip, people were revenge spending because of unexpected expenses, which I feel like is something that happens to everybody now and again. So just putting up the white flag saying that, oh, I saved all this money and it went to my car breaking down or some sort of emergency, and because of that now it's okay to doom spend and not really care about your future. I mean, I don't know about all that, but we do have another example right here.
How did $10,000 come in last month?
I got my IRS tax refund.
Is this because of the child tax credit?
Yeah.
Because you have children?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
So you got such a big refund, but you spent it all on a trip. If you make $35,000 a year, what the happened?
So when I got the child tax credit, the $10,000 refund, I just wanted to go do something fun.
But if that money is there to support you through the taxpayers, to spend it on vacation makes sense?
Not when I have debt.
Okay, why'd you do it then?
I just wanted to go do something fun. Because I don't usually have the money to go out and do much of anything. So yeah, I went a little crazy.
So I mean, textbook example of doom spending in my opinion, getting $10,000 back because of the child tax credit, only making $35,000 a year with those 3 children, and she immediately decides to go on vacation and blow all of it. On top of it, in today's world, I don't know how she's taking care of 3 children, making about $3,000 a month pre-tax, but I guess that feeling of instant gratification when a good amount of money comes in and wanting to go out and party and go on vacation is one of the prime examples on why she's on the financial audit. Now, I've been seeing a good amount of these clips start popping up and gaining a lot of traction, and overall I would say that they're poking fun at some of the TikTok clips that you've probably seen of somebody telling you to do 110% 24/7 and, you know, those above and beyond type of motivational people. But the more examples I see, the more serious people actually take these clips.
Stop trying to get in shape, stop trying to make it, stop trying to get your life together. It's over. There are people working harder than you, who are smarter than you, and deserve it more. You're wasting your time and energy. Just give up.
If doom spending and revenge spending had an anthem, it would be this clip. We could just take a look at some of the comments. The first image is the shackles being broken. Don't have to tell me twice. 10 years ahead of you, buddy. 16,000 likes on that. All I need to hear. Hashtag bed rotting. Why does this sound like my own brain? Thanks, bro. Needed this today. And I know this kind of stuff is pretty depressing the more you think about it, but this goes very well with a comment from one of you guys. I never bothered trying in school because I was going to be dead by 18. I never bothered saving because I was going to be dead by 27. Never bothered investing because World War III was going to wipe out the stock market. If I just started investing at 18, I could have been living a better life. If you don't try, you absolutely won't succeed. If you have the mindset like I did for the rest of your life, you will be forever struggling to make ends meet. You could die tomorrow, but that's not a good reason to just doom spend on useless trinkets. The other outcome is that you could reach 60 and still be slaving away at a dead-end job struggling to pay the rent. Because as we're going to see in this video, that is a huge argument for so many people. I could drop dead tomorrow. I have no idea how long I'm gonna last. I'm just gonna live for now. And I mean, overall, I understand it. Nobody actually knows how long they're going to live, but literally being in the YOLO mindset and everything being in the now, not saving or planning for anything in the future can make the whole rest of your life way worse, especially when you start hitting the years when your health declines and you don't feel as good. You can't really walk around as much. Most likely the time you're going to need the most amount of money, you're going to have absolutely nothing. And this next clip was from a few years ago, just when the COVID restriction mandates were being lifted, and you could listen to this clip and see that this is still happening in 2025.
People are predicting that revenge travel is going to be at an all-time high.
Revenge travel? Explain that.
People were not able to travel for, 2 years. And now they have this pent-up tension. They're like, we want to get out. Don't care what it costs. We're going to travel. We're going to see the world. And more than ever, they're saying the travel industry is going to be
which on the face value, I understand. For a couple years, everybody was cooped up, couldn't really do much, and now, I really want to travel, see the world. That's completely fine until you see a bunch of clips and screenshots like this. Flights purchased with Affirm, hotel booked on Klarna, outfits on Afterpay, but still living your best life. I don't see a problem with anyone traveling or going on vacations if you have the means to do so. But if you're putting everything on installment loans and credit cards, you clearly don't have the means. I had 3 days of paid time off left. I had $600 left on my credit card limit, $50,000 in student loans, but I had an impulsive soul pull to book the trip to Italy anyway, my first solo venture, so I took the 72-hour trip to Rome. We'll immediately go to another clip from this creator. I don't care if you think it's a terrible idea that I spent my money taking 3-day trips to Europe rather than paying off my student loans or saving for a house. I don't care to buy or have a retirement fund that I'm not guaranteed to ever get to use. There we go, that argument again. I don't care if you think I'm delusional or financially irresponsible. We're all literally gonna turn to dust one day, so I don't care. Well, it seems like you care a great deal when you put these types of clips on social media, garnering the attention and engagement, and you getting that dopamine hit that maybe you got a good amount of views or likes, and you just saying that you don't care what other people think doesn't seem to be the case. I could just hear Caleb Hammer yelling in the background about how this is a bad idea. But this is another one of the accounts that share their lives being a social media influencer, overthinking and oversharing and everything in between. Another comment from one of you guys: best advice I've ever heard was don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself now to yourself in the past. As long as you're growing and your life is getting better over time, you're doing good even if you have much less than those around you. I feel like this comment goes perfectly with the influencer type of clips. If you keep comparing yourself to people who have constant huge shopping hauls, going on vacations, cruises, buying new cars, you're never going to be content and happy with yourself. And a good amount of the people that you see showing off online don't even have the funds to do so. I mean, the next clip up on screen right now, how can you afford all of these vacations? And of course it is a Disney adult, but the audio on this sound clip is when Peter Griffin is saying, I have $30,000 in credit card debt. One of the comments on this clip, money returns, memories are priceless. I think that's a good transition into the next clip.
Say it with me. Every dollar I spend comes back to me times 10. Every dollar I spend comes back to me times 10. Make sure you say it like you mean it.
I can't remember what video it was in, but we went over a money mantra clip that was kind of like this. Just because it rhymes doesn't mean it's going to happen. I really don't understand how money would just appear out of thin air, but doing this kind of stuff, and I saw people using astrology, tarot cards to try to bring them money, I guess adds on to the comments saying that money always returns back to you. Well, I don't know. It doesn't really seem to be the case right now. Many people are living paycheck to paycheck right now, and I don't don't know. It doesn't look like money's returning as easily as they thought. And we have another clip right here from an influencer, come revenge shopping with me.
Hello, gorgeous. Come revenge shopping with me on my millionaire man. I decided to give myself a $15,000 budget. Instead of going to couples therapy, I'm just going to retail therapy.
So we're not going to go through this whole thing. This is just somebody who's taking the revenge spending trend and trying to get more attention and views out of it. The top comment, don't believe everything you see on social media. But if you take a look at this person's account, you could see who they really are. I don't have to say much. You could just look at what's up on screen. Don't believe everything that you see on social media, but this definitely has become some sort of trend.
Let's go to Target while I'm in my doom and gloom era, and I never talk while I'm actually vlogging. I always do a voiceover, and this is just like indicative of the fact that I'm a lazy and don't want to go back and edit this fully later.
I ordered a bunch of shit off TikTok Shop, so you don't have to. Let's unbox it together.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of Doom Spend with Kim. That's what we're gonna call this. When I need a little bit of self-care, one of my favorite things to do is to just go browse in a store and treat myself. Okay, so that's what I did. Well, my husband did. Shout out to Wade, he paid for this entire shopping haul. I'm in the car waiting for him to go in PetSmart, and then we're gonna go to dinner.
So self-care now has just become consumerism, when the description even says Doom Spend with Ken, Target Edition. The previous clip, late night doom scrolling, will get you the most random haul ever. And the first clip, doom shopping instead of doom scrolling. So after you get inundated with video after video, you start really thinking to yourself, how could this actually be happening? It always seems like people have way more money than they actually do.
I really don't understand how people have so much spending money. And don't come talking to me like, oh, they credit it. Oh, they credit it. You're telling me people go into debt over Lululemon leggings? On TikTok like this. I work a part-time minimum wage job. I did not come from money, and rent is really expensive. Anyways, here's my $400 Lululemon haul. Bro, what? I'm good with money, and I still don't have the margins to do this, so where does this money come from?
I work at a bankruptcy law office. I can assure you they just spend money they don't have. Financial literacy is dead. Yes, I'm telling you people go into debt over Lululemon leggings. But one day they'll spend all of their check paying the payments, and nothing to buy any extra. Catches up to people eventually. Life is hard and people are depressed, and will just buy stuff to try to buy happiness, but fall into debt and make it worse. I mean, kind of hit the nail right on the head with that one. I mean, we got another example right here.
And let's just get one thing straight. I'm not working to just work and pay bills and die. Okay? I'm not. When I get paid, I'm going to buy myself something. I'm going to buy myself something to eat. I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to get my car washed. I'm going to take myself out. I'm going to treat myself. You think I'm just working every single week, clocking in, and not gonna take care of nothing for myself? Please. No. Go get that seafood boil. Get them crab legs. Take that trip. Get your hair done. Get those nails done. Go get your car washed. We are not just working to just pay bills and die. Not me, at least. Them bills definitely gonna get paid, okay? One thing about it, them bills is gonna get paid.
Now overall, again, I don't have a problem with this. Unfortunately, the bills are not getting paid a good amount of the time. Americans' total credit card balance is $1.182 trillion as of the first quarter of 2025. Which state residents have the most credit card debt? Love to see it. Credit card holders in New Jersey have the highest average credit card debt of any state. As we just went over in the rent video, NJ has the highest rent increases right now in the entire country. Extremely expensive to live there. And overall, the national average credit card debt among cardholders with unpaid balances in Q1 of 2025 was $7,321, up 5.8% from a year ago. And again, New Jersey leads the way with almost $9,400 per person. So I'm not trying to be the grouchy old person that says you're never allowed to spend a penny in your life until you're 70 years old and retire, but clearly people are buying things with money they don't actually have. The credit card debt's going up every single time they put out more statistics. So yeah, you can treat yourself and buy things you want if you actually have the money to do so. It just looks like a lot of people don't. Here's a screenshot here that's from an accounting TikTok page. So this isn't actually serious, but is most likely what happens in a lot of situations when we're talking about buying a vehicle. Calculating whether it's worth it to lease a new Cadillac Escalade for $2,000 a month for the next 3 years, or have $800,000 more at retirement and just retire retire earlier instead. Because if you've seen the payments on Cadillac Escalades, especially the Escalade V, I believe is $150,000 or $160,000 SUV, the $2,000 a month payment is actually pretty low. I was seeing $3,000 or $4,000 in the car payment videos. But again, that doom spending mentality, the Escalade for sure. No guarantees you'll live that long. If I had not had to have every nice car growing up, I'd be a millionaire. Pass on it. I think another issue with the vehicles and new models constantly coming out, people like to fixate on one specific thing for a certain period of time, but then they end up getting bored with it, wanting the next new cool thing. And there's a comment that goes along with this from you guys. Awesome video, so true about getting influenced subliminally. I used to be super into wristwatches and spent thousands on them because I was bored. I've since sold off most of my watches, have a lot of savings and investments now, and I enjoy the few watches that I genuinely love. Everyone is at risk of getting influenced if you're not careful. Stay vigilant, because as crazy as a $2,000 a month payment on an Escalade is, if you live in a specific area where everybody has one of those giant SUVs, you're going to slowly want to be a part of the crowd and will try to do the mental gymnastics on paying that absurd amount of money just to look like everybody else. And there are tons of clips like this up on screen, going out and spending all my money because I'm bored. And I saw a TikTok that we're living in a simulation and life is meaningless. Oh man. Another one here. Sorry, Dave Ramsey. I'm in $141,530 of debt, and I'm still going to be eating out in restaurants, going out with friends, and taking my husband out on date nights. It might be an unpopular opinion because I believe finances are not unlike a diet. Balance equals key. It's important to enjoy the journey, otherwise you'll never see the results. Well, I can agree with that, but comparing it to a diet, I don't really have to tell you how many people say that they're going to go on a diet at the beginning of every year. You know, that's their New Year resolution. Maybe they'll stick with it for a few weeks or possibly even a couple of months, but then they fall off the wagon, and that's how the $141,000 becomes way worse, especially with high interest. You're exactly the type of person that should be listening to Dave's advice that 141K is going to be turning into 200,000 real soon with interest. That's what I said. I've been sitting and panicking over $8,000. Some people's carelessness baffles me. Well, speaking of carelessness, we have a clip of somebody basically teaching you how to spend money all the time and never have anything left over.
The secret to wasting money is like you waste money slowly over time. You know what I mean? You don't spend it all away unless it's like a special day or occasion. That's what I do. If it's your birthday, go all out. But like if it's a regular day and you just feel like buying, bro, just like buy it slowly at a time. That's how you get your brain to think like, oh, I'm not spending that much money. But in reality, by the end of the month, your credit card balance is like over 500. And that's only a shit that you want to buy. That's not even on utilities.
And I think that $500 bill at the end of the month is probably on the low end now. People spend way more than that. But we have another comment from one of you guys: can't spend it when you're gone. Yeah, well, it's gonna suck when you're broke, aren't gone, and still have a few decades left of life in your weakest state as a human. That's what I was saying before, especially if you're younger right now. Most likely you don't have too many health problems. Maybe your back hurts and your knee hurts, because seemingly everybody has those kinds of problems now, but I mean some serious health issues. When you start getting up into that age and things start not working correctly anymore, and you're going to need quite a bit of money to keep you going. Whether it is any of the bills to keep the lights on in the house and the water running, or the possible medication you're going to need to keep your body running. If you're doom spending or revenge spending every time your paycheck hits, you're not going to have the funds to get that medicine or keep the lights on when you literally can't work anymore because your body's getting old.
I literally had to tell myself no to so many things that I wanted and needed for so many years, and now that I'm stable in life, I continuously buy things that I don't necessarily need, but I told myself no for so many years. So now I'm like, girl, spoil yourself, okay? Like, I just can't stop spoiling myself, but I need to stop because I need to save money. But can anybody relate? Because that's what I'm going through right now.
Now, the constant shopping or spending money has been a huge problem that I've gone over before. Shopping addiction is a real thing, but this comment to me is pretty crazy because you've definitely met somebody like this before. I know shopping can be a fun hobby. Imagine meeting someone and you ask them what they do and they say shop. I feel like we have a perfect example right here with somebody who stopped shopping for an entire year because they knew how bad it was hurting them financially. But just from the way she's talking in this clip, I almost guarantee you she will go right back into the same problems.
Friday will be a year that I haven't shopped. It's getting really bad. It's been nice this week just because it's like the Daily Drills drop, can't do anything. The Dairy Boy drop, can't do anything. The Park one coming up, I can though, because it'll be after Friday. I'm trying to contain myself, but I really think, because if they have 100% cotton stuff, like I said, I like it. You guys can talk your shit. I don't care. I like it. And as long as it's good material, I'm good. But I really want to buy jewelry. My friend has convinced me to get a Spinelli ring. So I have one picked out that I want. That's good. And my perfume. My perfume is a non-negotiable. That's going to be like the first thing. But the Spinelli ring, they're so good. Have you seen them? Sterling silver, 18 karat gold. I'm getting one. So that's the plan for now. I'm so scared.
So somebody who stops shopping altogether because, of course, the financial burden of buying things constantly and the dopamine hit, the shopping addiction being a real thing, this sounds like she's going to immediately fall right off the wagon with the whole list of things that she wanted to buy as soon as Friday hit. I mean, you can make as many videos as you possibly can showing people in insane amounts of debt, terrible financial mistakes they make, and how to avoid it and turn your life around, but it really just looks like you can't help some people.
If you have ever spent money after a long day, splurged on a designer item after a breakup, or treated yourself to a really expensive dinner after a promotion, that is revenge spending. And it is one of the most interesting psychological phenomena in money. I'm a certified financial planner. I talk about money psychology, and I want to talk about why our brains are literally wired to crave it. When you experience an emotional setback or like a negative emotion, your body releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And this kind of puts you in a vulnerable state where your prefrontal cortex, which is the rational decision-making part of your brain, takes a back seat to your limbic system, which is all about emotional processing. So shopping can therefore then trigger dopamine, which creates this rush of pleasure that kind of temporarily eases or masks your emotional pain.
So I do want to end off this video on at least a positive note. From all the doom and revenge spending that has become very common online, there are some people doing the exact opposite now.
And you know, many Americans are changing their financial habits right now from revenge spending, that trend of splurging after the pandemic, to now moving in the opposite direction. They're revenge saving. That's what some are calling it, as consumers focus more on building their savings. A recent Vanguard survey found 71% of Americans plan to shift their savings approach this summer to prioritize emergency savings and flexibility. Several factors are prompting consumers to be cautious and cut back. Fluid tariff negotiations, the prospect of higher inflation, interest rates lingering at higher levels longer than some expected. They're also concerned about geopolitics and social unrest. So many consumers want to stockpile cash right now to protect themselves from unexpected cost increases in the future.
So it is kind of odd. There are two completely different responses to the same issues we're seeing. Some are scared and stockpiling as much money as possible because they don't know what's going to happen in the future, and others are completely draining their bank accounts because they don't know what's going to happen in the future. I personally would rather stockpile money than spend it all, but that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.